Welcome back to the Kieran Carlin channel. If you're not subscribed, why don't you subscribe? You little spineless cockroach. Wow. I'm so sorry. I don't know where that's come from. That was your I love you. I'm so... Whoa. I'll tell you who isn't spineless. JTW. Why? I pressed the wrong one. That's just my desktop. There we go. JTW. He got five exacts, which is amazing. That is remarkable. 27 points, top of the game week. I didn't do too bad. Look at me down here. Look at that. 2 results. A couple of closes. 3 exacts and slam points, which I don't quite understand, but they're there. Manchester United, Everton are our first game. United with a relatively convincing win against Brentford, only 1-0, but it could have been more. Brentford could have scored themselves, but by the looks of it, it was a relatively alright Manchester United win. Everton with another impressive equaliser, especially impressive if you're bloody Michael Keane. Jesus Christ, man, where's that come from? Like prime Vincent Kompany. And Everton, they're in good form, but I don't see them going away to United and winning. I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester United. Aston Villa, who are flying under Unai Emery. Look at that. 5 wins in the past 6 and haven't lost a single game. Got some pretty good wins against Leicester, Chelsea, Bournemouth, draw against West Ham, Palace and Everton. A couple clean sheets in there as well. 4 clean sheets as well. That is impressive. Against the Nottm Forest side, they've fallen off a cliff. They're a little bit of a return to form. You're like, oh, okay, they might be doing something here. And no, they're not. I think this might be Steve Cooper's final game. It might be his last game. They released a statement, the old Greek big fella, saying like, oh, to clear up the speculation, we're all behind Steve Cooper. Unless it immediately doesn't change, then maybe not. So he's gone because they will lose this game 2-0. Brentford versus Newcastle. Brentford falling off form a little bit. 2 draws against Leicester and Brighton. Well, the draw against Brighton is a pretty good draw, but and then I lost to United, which isn't dreadful. But Newcastle, they're just killing it, right? They're back on form after that wobble, and 2-1. Ivan Toney to get the goal against his old club, who didn't take enough of a chance on him, and but I think Newcastle have too much for them after a very convincing 5-1 win against West Ham, in which a lot of the goals West Ham just threw it in the back of the net, which is really frustrating if you are a West Ham fan, but I'm not, so it was funny to me. Fulham versus West Ham. Fulham predictably have gone off the absolute rails since Mitro exploded. That sounds almost sexual. But exploded all over Manchester United and the referee. He's banned for 8 games, and Fulham will equally struggle for probably that amount of time. There'll be a couple wins, and this could be one, because this West Ham team are just really, look how inconsistent that is. They can't follow up one result with the same result. They can't even lose 2 in a row, which would suggest that they won't lose this one. So what does it go? Draw, loss, win. Loss, draw, win. Loss. It feels like a draw. It's going to be a draw next, isn't it? It's going to be a draw. This has to be. I'm going by previous form logic, and this has to be a draw. Which would Fulham take? Because, they've had 3 L's on the trot. I'm going to go 1-1. Leicester City, managerless Leicester City. Brendan Rodgers finally got his marching orders. I'll tell you what, he can march away a proud man. It was not his fault that this has become what it's become at Leicester, in my opinion. But it had to stop. It had come to a natural end. You can't take that risk in the Premier League, okay? Staying up is everything. It means everything. I'm going to go against a Bournemouth side that they get the odd win. They're not bloody drawing, are they? But they get the odd win. Oh, can they beat Leicester? I'm going to give Leicester a bounce. But do I give Bournemouth a goal? I'm going Bosch. Actually, no, Leicester are bad. 2-1. Tottenham, Brighton. The ever wobbly Tottenham. You score 1 against a team. A man is sent off. Why? How do you capitulate like that? It's so odd. But they did. They did. And Brighton are in phenomenal form. But Tottenham's form isn't the worst. It's pretty similar, to be honest. There's one game, one loss difference. God, against Wolves. Against Wolves and Leicester. Jesus Christ, I do not understand that club. Surprising me every time I check their form. Brighton, meanwhile, obviously smashing it. So I'm going to go for... Oh, I do feel like Tottenham are better at home. They seem to be less Spursy at home. But Brighton are bloody good. I might go for a draw. You know what? No. Brighton, I'm going to back Brighton. Brighton should win. I'm going to go 1-2. But for the record, I'm feeling 2-2. I might change it. Bosh, 2-2, draw. Doing a draw. Surely they can't be even more Spursy and lose. Wolverhampton versus Chelsea. I would say managerless Chelsea, but no. Frank Lampard is back, which, by the way, if you type in Fat Frank, it auto-completes it as a picture of Frank Lampard, which is funny. That's not fat shaming, that's Frank shaming. I'm going to go, you know what, they're going to come back. Fat Frank, I shouldn't call him out, I quite like him. Frank Lampard is going to come back and convincingly beat Wolves 2-0. Everyone will regard him as the Messiah. Mason Mount straight back into the team. Has a solid 8 out of 10 performance. Everyone's been like, this is what we've been asking for, Mason Mount. Mason Mount signs a new contract by the end, at the end of the season, and then it's all fine. And then Frank Lampard continues to be Chelsea manager because he's done so well. And then in the following season, next year, he fails within about 3 months, gets sacked, and the whole circus begins again. That's my prediction. Southampton versus Manchester City. Now, surely, on paper, we win this. We batter them, 4 million nil. However, there seems to be something when we go down to Southampton, and they're just one of our bogey teams. And especially that we've chucked it at a specific early or late kickoff, not a 3 o'clock one. It seems it doesn't. If this was a 3 o'clock, we're not messing it up. Because it's a late kickoff, or if it was an early kickoff, maybe one of the weird 8 o'clock kicks off. Strange, those ones. I'm feeling like all eyes on us, and a little bit nervy. But I think surely logic dictates we win against a bad Southampton side who have scored 3 against Tottenham. Well, they did, didn't they? 5 goals in 7 games, whereas let's count ours. 18 in the last 7. So I'm going to go 3-0. I reckon we might keep a clean sheet, but it does seem to, we do leak the odd goal. We do leak the odd goal, which is not good enough. Manchester City, tell you who is good enough. Bloody Jack Grealish, mate. Fucking love the man. Sick. Massive calves. Big shagger. We move on to the Sunday games, and Leeds United against Crystal Palace, who got their first W in Roy Hodgson's game back. I said they were going to draw. Big Roy Hodgson were going to draw 1-1 to the rest of the season, but they came back and they won convincingly. 30 shots on target or some absurd thing. So I'm going to go, but Leeds, look at those. But they can't follow up 2 wins in a row. So I'm going to go draw. Looking at the forms, you can sort of be like, I feel like they're going to meet in the middle and draw. Because I feel like Crystal Palace's L streak is over. 4 L's in the bounce, he gets sacked, new manager comes in, new form table. Poor Patrick Bamford, by the way. I saw the highlights and there was one where he was running through on goal and it was like he was in treacle. He was running in custard, like John Tickle from Brainiac from a show like a decade or more ago. I'm almost 28. This is meant to be my footballing prime. I'm fucked. We come to our final game, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Arsenal, Jesus Christ, look at that form. Look at that form. 23 games out of 29. Liverpool, stinking. That game against Chelsea is one of the worst quality games I've possibly seen in my life. It was almost funny until it became, in the 70th minute, just painful and tragic and actually boring at that point. However, Liverpool's home form is almost as good as Arsenal's. It's just as good in terms of losses because they've only had 1 loss each at home. Liverpool's to Leeds and Arsenal's to Manchester City. So this is difficult. But Liverpool stopped the run by getting a little draw, but they were exposed a lot. And a good team like Arsenal, they're going to pounce on that. However, that special atmosphere when you go to Anfield and they ramp up the speakers before the game, and then after about 5 minutes it dissipates and they just all stop singing. Could I ever just be nice about a team? I don't think so. Got to get a little bite in somewhere. I'm going to put Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. It's going to be a draw. It's going to be a game where Arsenal are like, we should have won that. And Liverpool will be like, whoa. I mean, I wish we won, and it's only a point, so I'm not happy with that. But it's a point against a good side. So, I don't know. I hope it's 2-2. Arsenal drop points. We beat Southampton. And we claw back some points before we face them. I've been your boy, Kieran. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bish Bash Boss. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers. And also, I don't know.